to not gatekeep here. We want you to grow. We want everyone to do the best they possibly can.
Earlier this year, we paid $700 for YouTube professionals to go over our channel and tell us how we can grow. And we're going to be sharing those secrets with you.
Before we get to that though, you might have noticed if you follow us that it has been a while. We've been really busy doing some new things, and you know what we have talked about in previous podcasts, so like mental health and taking a break and stress. So definitely check out our previous videos and podcasts if that's something that you're into as well. We just decided to kind of take a break on this channel and post when we can, when we have something new to share. So that's kind of how it's going to be from now on.
We still have been posting on our other channel, TJTV. Every week we're still going at it, and we have an exciting project coming up.
But we can't say anything just yet. It has to do with this channel. I mean, we don't really have anyone, but we are saying that we shouldn't and we can't. We just want to like surprise you guys with this. It's going to be really exciting. But we thought this would be a really good podcast to go over. So just to explain a little bit more, at the start of this year, we booked a 1-hour consultation with Video Creators, which is a company created by Tim Schmoyer. I think that's how you say his name. And they basically say, do you want to grow your channel? We are going to help you with it. Have a consultation or book, like training, things like that. And they're going to tell you exactly what to do to help grow your channels. We were super curious. The reason that I personally, and Talissa, you could have a different thing, but I wanted to do that because I was just really curious on what they could say. And also because we were doing at the same time this channel pod, and so I wanted to know, what did they say that you need to do to grow your channel so that we can share it with you as well.
It's really different having an outsider comment on your channel. And today we are going to be sharing that experience. We're going to be talking about the process, so how the consultation actually works and what they taught us. So you're going to be learning all the secrets.
We actually don't know if we can share or not, but we're sharing it because we don't gatekeep.
And then of course in the end we're going to also say how we implemented it and how were the results.
The first thing that you do in terms of process is you book online a time. We had to do it extremely early because they're in the US and all the times did not match with us.
It is via video call though, so it's good no matter where you are.
Yeah, and so when you're booking online, you fill out a form and you have to fill out what you want to achieve with your channel. Exactly what you want from them and what you want to achieve with your YouTube channel, and just give as much detail as possible.
A little bit of a disclaimer, what we're sharing here today is specific to our own channel. I think there's a lot of things that you might be able to apply to your own channel as well, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah, so for us, one of the objectives that I listed was we wanted to get more views and also then reach new people. All of that without changing that much of our content and channel, because at the end of the day, we do YouTube videos because we find it so much fun. We really enjoy it. We really enjoy the time we spend, and we really enjoy the connections we've built with the people that follow us already. So didn't want to change that much, and actually did make me a little bit scared to pay. It's a lot of money to pay for a 1-hour consultation, and I thought, are they going to be able to say anything? I don't want to change every single thing. I don't want to be like, okay, now we're going to be a niche tutorial channel instead of doing challenges and vlogs and pranks, which are the things that we started with in TJTV. So I was a bit hesitant, but I was really glad that there was that section for details. We are going to get into what they taught, but they really did listen to that, which I thought was so good. In terms of process, so we fill out that form, and then they actually look at your channel. They watch a few videos, they look at your channel page before they have the consultation, and then on the day they send you kind of like video chat link, and you just click on that and you meet up with someone who works in that team.
They record everything.
Yes,
right?
They record everything. They write notes so that you can have everything at the end. They also recommend possible future steps because obviously 1 hour, it's not that much. Even though I'm saying it's not that much, there was a lot of information that he gave us. This podcast episode is going to be really long because I want to make sure you get everything, the most out of what we paid, so we can share the cost here.
So get your popcorn because it's going to be a bit long. To get started, one of the things that I found really interesting that they taught were the content buckets. You can group it into 3 buckets: views, engagement, and sales.
So that basically means when you're creating a video, you have to decide in which content bucket you want it to go into. So is this video supposed to drive more views? Is it supposed to drive more engagement? Is it supposed to drive, more sales if you're making money out of that channel?
So the first one is focusing on the views.
It mentioned specifically if you know a type of video that does well on your channel already, then you use it to drive more views to your page and get more new viewers, more eyes to your videos. And so what you want to do is keep them in your channel and seeing more videos and getting more views. When you get to the call to action at the end of a video would be like another video, so something relevant. So let's say this podcast episode we're doing is on, how to grow more and based on like a consulting business, but then we can point to like, hey, if you're interested and want to learn more, we have this other podcast episode that I can't really think off the top of my head. I didn't prepare. I should be more prepared to get you guys watching more. But basically it'd be like that. So it'd be
so
like,
you're watching one video and then it's like, go watch the next video. So you're going to keep watching, increase those views. The first content bucket you went through views. The second one, engagement. With this one, you're trying to build a community. The call to actions at the end could be, to comment or to do something.
Yeah, because once you create a community, that's a great part about YouTube in terms of the kind of social media aspect of it, and that it is social, right? You want people to really trust and engage with you because they'll keep coming back, and also it's just more fun. Like, it's really enjoyable to read comments and build that connection and meet new people. And then in terms, of course, if you are going to go into the third bucket, which is sales, it's really important to have that community around you because then they will trust, will want to buy things from you. So this sales one wasn't as relevant to us, at least for now, but it was still important to have the community aspect of it. And so lastly is the one I touched on a little bit, and that is sales. And so the call to action in that one would be to point to your website or to something you're selling, like a course or something like that might be relevant. Something relevant to your video that you know the people watching this video would find useful. If we had our own consulting, we could even say, hey, if you're really interested in finding out how it is to have a one-on-one for yourself, we could be like, we do have consulting services. Here's our link to our page. You can subscribe. You can get 15 minutes free, quick chat, something like that.
You have so many examples. One day.
Basically, that one is something that is not going to have a lot of views. So it is more sales driven. And you know what? No one really likes sales. It's not going to be the video that goes viral. You might get lucky and you might, but he mentioned that it probably isn't the one that's going to go viral. But if you are using it, YouTube or other platforms to make money, or maybe as an advertisement platform for your own business, be it like online or local, you might be more important to have less views but more conversions. It's really important to have a mixture of this. With your videos, different videos have different things, or if you have one specific goal at the moment, you might want to focus on something. And for us, we've been really focusing. Well, we're going to go into what we've done, but I do want to say quickly for us, it was more focusing on views. So that's what we've been trying to practice and do in terms of linking to other videos. But mostly because we feel like we have a good engagement with the people that are consistently watching. We really enjoy reading the comments. So
definitely. So the content bucket is going to shape what your actual content is about. And then now you have the thumbnail. So with a thumbnail, even though you might think, it's after you film the video, actually it's good to do preparing beforehand and know what your thumbnail is going to look like. So your thumbnail is what people are going to see first. You want to make them want to click on the video. They shared a few really cool tips, which is actually a little bit of a different approach that we have been taking. The main thing that he said is keep it simple and have a focus point. When we had vlogs, we were doing picture collages because we see a lot of people doing that, but actually he said it's better to just have, one photo. And a little tip if you want to see if it is simple enough, you can zoom out of your thumbnail. You see it really, really small, and can you actually see what it says or what it's about?
What it's about, yes. Not a lot of texting. I think not all channels do this. It might not work for your type of videos, but it's just something to think about. I think with everything we're saying, it's just the things that we were told and taught, and we want to share it along. A lot of these we might agree, disagree, but it was really good to get a different type of approach and insight, and it might make you reflect and see what you want to take on board. So I think that, that's pretty much it with thumbnails.
It should also complement the title. So if, let's say, your title is Australia vlog. You don't want to just write Australia vlog in the thumbnail. You know, you want it to sort of work together because people would see both at the same time.
And then going into that is the title, like Melissa says, that the title and thumbnail work together. And just as important is the title. Think of it, if you can, before you make the videos. Again, it might not be possible in every situation, but it's really good to have that idea of the title and the content and how to create it and what's going to be engaging. And so in terms of creating a good title, it was really interesting.
It went against what we thought.
Yes.
It went against a lot of advice I've heard before.
Exactly, it was. It really was. And it was to move away from the focus of searchability. So instead of thinking, oh, I need to make my videos really searchable, I need to add a lot of keywords, I'm going to use TubeBuddy, vidIQ. Actually just focus on what is the most engaging, mysterious, curiosity-bringing title that are going to make people click, which I thought was really interesting. Now, I don't know if this would work for everything. Let's say tutorials or things like that you want people to find in the future. And I kind of pushed back when he said that. I was like, are you sure? I've seen so many videos and so many people talking about it. But he did have some really good points, which I'll share with you. And the first thing is, one, you want an attention grabbing first, like the first line of your title at least should be attention grabbing, because that's what people are going to click on, people are going to watch. Once people are watching, YouTube is going to push out to similar profile users. Again, if more people clicking, it's just going to be pushing out more and more and more, which are going to get more views, and that's more important than just people searching things up. It's just getting to the right people's news or home pages and getting them to click on it, and that will generate more views, more subscribers, more all of that. And then the other thing is, YouTube already knows what your video is about. Like, have you tried the auto-generating captions? Like, it knows what you're saying, right? So if you already knew what your title was going to be and what your content was going to be throughout the video, it should reflect that. So YouTube kind of knows what you're doing. One thing I want to add, actually, and this isn't separate, it's just something I've noticed, is if you add the chapters to your video, when people search up on Google, it will show like a specific section of the video. But even before chapters, actually, YouTube will sometimes, like, you would search how to do this and it would just show you the chapter. It thinks it's showing that exactly. It was taking it off based the actual content of what people were saying, not just the title.
YouTube is smarter than we think.
Yeah,
It knows what's in the video.
I do agree that the first thing on a video title should be the really interesting, like the clickbaity, but not like crazy clickbait, but you know what I mean, like get people to watch part. And then if you want to add the keywords, maybe add them like at the end, because that way you get the searchability and you get the engaging side. So maybe that's something to test out.
Another thing that the consultant taught us is to look at the YouTube analytics. YouTube actually shows a lot, so make sure you're checking the analytics just to see how it's going, especially if you're experimenting with this. Maybe you want to see if, you know, what we're telling you, which is what the consultant taught us, is, you know, actually helping you or not.
Yeah, see what kind of thumbnails have done really well, see what type of content has done really well, see what type of titles, and then see, you know, not just in terms of which one's got more views, but also which one's got more subscribers and things like that.
And the percentage of video watched. So you might be able to see where people are dropping off or where people are watching a lot of. So if you have something that people are watching a lot of, like a specific section, you can like repeat it.
And again, then you can use those in the content bucket of views. You can like do those in mind, like, hey, I know these videos are going to get more views, so I am going to make sure that people are staying and they're now like drawn into my channel.
The fourth point that the consultant taught us, you know, the cliche, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the notification button, all of that, actually said, don't do that.
Yeah, he says that people watching know to do those kind of things. And if they're watching more and more of your videos and YouTube is showing them more and more of your videos, it is going to get to a point where they are going to subscribe. If you are hesitant to take that, the main thing was right at the end, because you're trying to have one of those 3 content buckets, which is get people to watch another video or get people to leave a comment or get people to buy something. You don't want to say, hey, like, subscribe, do these things, and then do your call to action. There's way too many call to actions. People are not going to do that. You just want to focus on one thing that they should do next. And the other thing is, people click off that video because it's like winding down. People like, oh yeah, that's the end. The energy isn't as high. It's not related to the content. I'm just going to click off of it. And they're not clicking then on maybe your next video that you want to show. So it's better to just end it at the good part so people want to keep coming back.
That's very true. Don't keep your outro too long.
So that's definitely one, and that's definitely something different that I think a lot of people do. But I think it makes sense. I think it might just take a while. If you have people like me, I'm the worst. I have to watch a video, like I have to watch a channel, maybe like 10 videos throughout. Wow. And like I have to watch it consistently, like not just on one day. It has to be like I keep coming back to it. Right. And then after a few months, maybe a year, and I'm like, hey, I've been watching them a lot. I'm going to subscribe.
Wow, so you have really high standards.
It's not high standards. I think, I don't know what it is.
But the thing is, you're still engaging with them.
Yes,
even if you haven't subscribed, you're still watching. You might be liking or commenting.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And if you want to sell, if you want to work with brands, if whatever you want to achieve out of that, that person watching is still going to do all of that. So
it goes back to the main objective. Like if you just want more engagement or if you want more views, the number of subscribers is probably not the most important thing.
I think the other thing that was really interesting, that was different from what that I've heard, is the lack of focus in terms of descriptions and tags. So that was something I was asking. I was like, hey, you're telling us about thumbnails and titles. That's like really good. I know that's really important. Now let's just get into the details. So you're saying don't use keywords in your titles, not as important. Should I then put those keywords in the, in the description, like on the tags, like something? He said, you know what, like it's more content for the people viewing. If people like to read, it's good to have it there, but it's not like the kind of be all end all of it. And write and add some keywords, focus more on thumbnails, focus more on titles, focus more on the actual content you're presenting, of course. We didn't talk too much about content. We're not going to talk too much about content today, but that's mostly because we didn't want to change what we enjoy doing.
Okay, so now moving away from the specific videos, you have to look at your channel as a whole. When someone sees your video, maybe popped up on the news feed or somehow they landed on your channel. You have to think, if someone lands on this channel for the first time, what are they going to see? It's really important, firstly, to have a trailer, what your channel is actually about and what they would get from, subscribing or from watching your videos.
You want them to subscribe. So you want to be like, bang, this is what your channel's about. This is what's going to benefit you. And even if that's entertainment or, relatability, things like that, it needs to be very clear. So they're like, yes, I like this. I'm going to subscribe so I can watch more videos.
And the trailer can actually be pretty short. It's just like a snippet of what, it's going to be about. That does tie in as well with your bio. So again, being clear what someone can expect from your channel. And you can create playlists to show up on your channel page. First playlist should be like, if you're new, start here. And then, choose a few videos that you'd want someone who's new to watch. So it could be something that's introducing who you are, or just your most interesting videos that you think would really get people hooked and want to watch more.
When you write those playlists, you want to have a good title as well, and that's also where you want to have the description, because descriptions appear on your page with the playlist. So you want to make sure that it's like the whole package. You really thought about the whole thing and how it looks all together.
And if you don't really know what we mean by all of this, you can go on our YouTube channel page and you can scroll through and see. So there's like a trailer, and then if you scroll down, there's a playlist. Scroll down a bit more, there's another playlist. So yeah, we're making it quite easy, I guess, for people to follow.
Especially for us, like we don't have a specific niche. So I think it's been really good to see like these are a playlist. This is what you're gonna get out of a channel, and it's a variety, but it like all ties together, And the same thing is like with the banner. You want people to know who you are, what you're about. So maybe if you're not like very niche like us, and if you have a lot of things, just kind of have like a tagline kind of thing that Talisa mentioned, put in your bio, put in your content, and then put it in your banner. In your banner, you also want to write when you post. So what you post, what your channel's about, and when you post.
Because if you say we're going to post every Monday, for example, then people know when to come back.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about the results and how we implemented everything we just learned about?
Yes, go Talisa. I'm so excited.
This is very exciting part. Okay, I'm going to start with the thumbnails. We struggled a little bit with this because sometimes, when you're creating it on Photoshop or, whatever editing app you're using, you just want to keep adding things.
Yes.
You want to make it really exciting or funny.
For me, the more the better.
So sometimes we'd add a lot of text or have multiple images. So now we're really like, okay, we're going to strip it down, just have that one image, no text, or maybe just very few words or an arrow or something like that.
It's been hard, I'm not going to lie. And I don't think we've done it for every video. And on this channel, of course, we will probably implement some of the same strategies, but especially for this channel, I don't know how to make it interesting or engaging or without writing that much text. We paid someone for YouTube consultation. How do I just put like as shocked faces? It's not going to work, you know? Like, it's not the same as a roller skating video where you put yourself a photo of you roller skating, everyone knows what you're doing. It's very specific, it's text heavy, so it's a little bit harder to think like, okay, we're still going to put that down, narrow it down, keep it simple, and also make it interesting. Being a learning process, and we're still learning.
It's hard, yes. Okay, how about, so the titles? Moving away from looking at vidIQ, seeing what's, I guess, like the keywords, and just focusing on what we think is going to be attention grabbing.
Yes. We do not always do that.
We try.
It also feels bad sometimes for the clickbaity style. You don't want to do it. I have given ideas, and you're like, no, that's people aren't going to be happy with that.
Yes, I guess.
Which is a balance, right?
So we're still, I guess, experimenting with that one. Maybe I'm holding back a little bit.
But even the ones we have,
looking at the analytics, our channel definitely has grown, but something else we have been doing is I've been running ads in the background. So if that's something you're interested to learn more about, then we can also do a podcast episode talking more about it. But yeah, just wanted to mention that even though we did grow and we reached our 1,000 subscriber milestone, which we are so excited about, it's a little bit hard to say that we can't attribute 100% to the strategy that we've been doing, because we have been also trying a few other things like doing the ads and just being consistent and persistent.
Yeah, I do want to say then with the ads, what I found really interesting that has worked, and you know, this is from the consultation we had, is that we really like thought about our channel page like we were mentioning, and we can see people landing on our channel page, like clicking from the ad, watching the trailer. We can also see the first video in one of our playlists, like the views do increase, and we do get subscribers from the channel page and from the trailer. So it's been really interesting to see that the channel page was really important and key to us growing. And the other thing as well that helped us grow, but it doesn't necessarily translate to an engaged community or watching the longer form videos, and that was shorts. So posting shorts, we got quite a lot of views there, and we got more subscribers. So I also wanted to be very clear, and it wasn't like, oh, we just changed titles and now we're like viral. Like, no, there's more to it than that. But it definitely has helped, I think, and it's definitely strategies that I'm always trying to think about now, and always like learn from it a little bit more, because we haven't implemented it fully, like everything, because it's hard sometimes. If a third party comes in and looks at your channel, and they can be like, no, this title isn't as interesting. But interesting to who? How can you know everyone's going to find it interesting and mysterious? Like, it's a little bit harder to think about. We don't want it to be like super clickbait and we get lots of views, but everyone dislikes it, you know? But we are working on it, and I see more videos that I see that we've implemented what they said. So it's really exciting to see.
But if you're thinking, like, should you implement these YouTube strategies or not, you know what? I think give it a go, and you can always, you can test if it's working or not. If you think that one thumbnail isn't doing as well, you can actually swap thumbnails or change the title even after you post.
What I would say is key takeaways for me, if you want to, after listening to this, really analyze your channel, key takeaways would be really look at your channel page and really have like playlists that are specific, and also make sure that it is all like cohesive. And just think about like thumbnail and title working together and making it really eye-grabbing and being like, hey, I want to click on it. And the other thing I want to do, think about, is the content buckets.
My key takeaway is just to keep going. If you do want to grow on YouTube, you have to be persistent, because even though we learned so much in this, and I hope that you did too through this podcast episode, it's not, it's not magic. You're not going to blow up overnight, or if you are, you are super, super lucky. But most of the time, it takes time, and that's fine. So just keep experimenting.
So one of the things we talked about is getting more views for your video. If this is something that you are interested in, check out our previous podcast with Mariam Rizvi, where she talked about how she got more views on her videos and what has really worked.
Let's grow together, and we will chat to you there.